War Thunder players are stupid. They tell you something is one way, and when you finally experience it for yourself, you find it's actually a completely different way. They said the dart nerf would make the MBT-70 unplayable. This thing bangs. They complained about the 2S38 being the most overpowered tank in the game. Is it? And they also say the M60s in the US tree are not even worth your silver lions. Well, this time, they might actually be onto something. The M60 TTS looks like hot garbage up against heavy hitters like the XM803, still bangs by the way, TAM2IP, Leo A1A1, BMP3, T62M1, even the OF40 has to be better than this thing. The Rise P is practically a joke at 8.7 without even noticing that it's all alone there by itself. Huge, slow, and firepower is nothing of note. The M60s are an unfortunate case of tanks not performing well in a place where they weren't designed to be in, War Thunder. Somehow these tanks just don't feel the same as their competition, like it's just a step behind in development. So how did the M60 come to be such a ubiquitous, recognizable tank across the entire world? Well, we can look to the past for that answer. There was a time before the M60s, a bronze era of tank engineering, when the future meant necessity. The Pattons. The M46, M47, and M48 were fundamental advancements in tank development, the middle child between old and new ways of thought in American tank design. The Pattons were responsible for bringing the United States into the modern era of the main battle tank. In the beginning, however, it was nothing special. See, it was just supposed to be a simple upgrade of the M26 Pershing. New engine, new transmission, new bore evacuator, a few other creature comforts, and then it became little more than a simple upgrade. It was given a new name to go with the look, the Patton. Now, of course, the Patton was nothing groundbreaking. The Army felt it needed a more sophisticated new design, something to really break the mold. But with fighting breaking out in Korea, there simply wasn't enough time to start from scratch, and so we got the Patton 2. The M47 features an upgraded 90mm cannon, new optical rangefinders, an improved hydraulic turret control system, and a sleek, imposing turret design. But it never saw any combat with the US. The Patton evolution was just too fast. Around this time, the idea of having light, medium, and heavy tanks was beginning to be questioned as countries around the world began developing their armored warfare doctrine around a new idea, the main battle tank. The US, never one to be one-upped, continued their improvements of the Patton with the T48. While it took many features and inspirations from earlier Pattons, the Patton 3 is almost completely unique. The driver was placed in the center, the bow MG was removed, the turret became a big sphere, and a massive commander's hatch was added on the top. This was America's first generation main battle tank. It was used as a testbed for many new designs. New engines, new cannons, new optics, new cupolas. The M48 also had a ton of variants to test different upgrades. Mine flails, folding bridges, Gao 8s, please Gaijin, please, thank you, please. Flamethrowers, dozers, nearly a decade, and it looked like the US spent all that time testing every upgrade imaginable with the M48 as the base. Then the M60s. Better armor, better engine, better gun. Instead of something cool like the Gao 8, please just consider it. The M60 was just another blanket improvement of the M48 like the tanks before it, but it still wasn't really good enough. The M60 was just an upgrade of another upgrade, and it was becoming obsolete all over again. The Army needed something that could compete, and what they cooked up was drastically different from where they started. But none of this matters. Is the M60 in War Thunder bussin' or not? No, not really, but there is a moment, if ever so brief, where the M60 feels sublime. The M60A1 AOS. This upgrade package of the M60 features a stabilizer. That's it. That's what it's got. The M60 is overall really unimpressive. There is nothing overtly special about this MBT. The cannon is average, the armor is decent, and the mobility is subpar for its battle rating. The stabilizer is a cool addition that most other tanks in this bracket don't have. Like most US tanks, the AOS is on a knife's edge of effectiveness. No matter the situation, no matter the battle rating of the match, you might be either completely useless or completely unstoppable. The M60 requires a level of finesse and slow play in order to push it into effectiveness, which is not normally a place in which the M60 resides. The M60 feels just like any other US medium. What it lacks in potent firepower, it also lacks in effective armor and a high top speed. It feels perfectly balanced to not be particularly good at anything. With the added stabilizer upgrade, the M60 is now slightly better in the firepower department. Besides the stabilizer, the A1 also has a 105mm cannon with APDS, HEATFS, and HESH. APDS on the AOS has less pen than the M60 before it at a lower BR. The catch is the upgraded Sabo is actually better, not worse. M728 performs much better against angled armor instead of flat on. We've all seen angled armor before. These Sabo penetrators are much more effective against T55s and T62s. APDS can pen just about anything with ease. However, one-shotting can become tricky with lack of effective post-pen, and the HEATFS is not much better, while feeling almost equally as useful. I'll call the AOS the best M60 for its BR, but I can't really call it amazing. Sometimes it's fun to just jump into your badass Cold War tank and drive around in War Thunder. I think I kind of like the story of the M60 more than I actually like to play this thing in game. It definitely has its moments, and it makes me think it's effective at times. How the fuck? And at other times it just won't work. Definitely a case of me playing War Thunder purely for the enjoyment of playing a cool tank. If you think M60s look cool too, definitely try to unlock this thing. And a word of advice, just ignore those other M60s. They are not worth it. Bye bye.